that they're changing my voice. So, okay, remember that they're changing my voice. So my plan for Michigan is very simple. I have a 7-point war on poverty plan and some other plans as well. A key part of the plan has to do with taxes. A lot of people try to simplify it and say, hey, the rich don't want to pay more taxes or they'll leave, and that's going to cost the economy. It's not that simple. Pay close attention now. They want you stuck in a paradigm where some people say, hey, we want more taxes for health care and things like that. And a bunch of rich people and their allies say, no, we don't want to pay more taxes or we'll leave. And a bunch of people say, hey, it doesn't work like that, and it's going to make it harder for all of us. And they just want you to put up with it. The answer is very, very simple. Again, pay close attention and consider carefully what I say. Because I'm right, it's true, and it's what's fair and just and right. If the rich refuse to pay more taxes to end homelessness and to feed people, which would save lives, to help secure healthcare after a very careful and well thought out healthcare analysis plan, then we have no choice but to replace their businesses to the degree in which they need to be replaced. In other words, if 10 major businesses leave, and maybe they're grocery stores, maybe they sell cars, and the state government should loan money and start those businesses here. And they should hire people who are disenfranchised of every race, who get good grades in school to run those businesses. And they should tax those businesses at a higher rate, and the people who live in that state, in this case Michigan, they should support those businesses. Very, very much so. And so the degree of quote-unquote communism that you get has to do with how greedy the rich are. They would be the ones to blame if it turns into a more socialist or communist state. To that degree, it would never be completely communist unless you're, a complete idiot. But it would be more like communism depending on how greedy the rich are. It is that simple. And when you don't make this argument, you play into the problem. The solution isn't on the right, it isn't on the left, so to speak, not in the political left. The solution is with this plan, with the actual definition of what it means to be a liberal, someone who's for individual rights and limited government where it makes sense. If the government needs to step in because the rich are exploiting the hell out of the poor and people are dying homeless in the streets, and the government needs to step in. Just like if somebody's doing a home invasion on your house, you say, hey, I want the government limited. No, you want them stopped. The policies that we see coming from the rich and the left-right paradigm and the libertarians really are massacring people. So the government needs to be moral and it needs to step in. So why would this plan work? Well, it's very simple. The people would support those businesses because they want the problems that we see in society that are very avoidable. They want those problems solved. And they don't want their kids to be sexual slaves for the rich. They don't want their cultures to be trampled as they're forced to accommodate the rich in the left-right paradigm, the left-right middle paradigm. Now, really briefly, I want to bring up that I'm not trying to insult the grocery store chains that we have here. It's what came to mind, I like the grocery stores we have in Michigan to some degree, and I just thought I would note that there real briefly here. I don't want to redo the whole video just because I use them as an example. Thank you.